they used a topper, is it the coating that's failing or the topper that's failing?
The topper trap.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is the DIY Detail Podcast. Today we're going to cover what is the topper trap. Unfortunately, a lot of detailers, when they have a ceramic coating, get into using toppers as well. And those toppers can cause problems. They can do a lot of good too, but they definitely can cause some problems.
Well, we sell toppers, Ivan. Let's talk about those, when to use them, and when not to use them, because this is obviously a topper trap podcast.
Right. We have 3 toppers in our lineup. We have Envy Ceramic Detail Spray, we have Quick Beads, and we have C6 Mist. And we'll start with Envy, our most popular of the 3. Envy is a spray and wipe product. You can apply it with a machine if you want to. Use it as a drying aid. Super convenient, very easy to use, has a nice little fragrance to it, and actually is long lasting. The next one is Quick Beads. Quick Beads is a spray-on, rinse-off product, meaning that you need to use it with either a pressure washer or garden hose. You spray it on the surface, you rinse it off, and you're ready to dry. Finally, we have C6 Mist, which actually does both jobs. So you can use it as a spray and wipe, or you can use it as a spray and rinse. It works equally well both ways. But Mist has one difference compared to the other 2. It doesn't leave any meaningful protection behind. It has gloss enhancers, but as far as protection goes, if you're not dealing with a coated paint and you're expecting it to protect your paint, you might want to go somewhere else. You might want to use Envy or Quick Beads for that, because Mist does not offer long-term protection.
Well, we offer fantastic toppers, and I use them, I'm not going to lie, after every wash. And yet now I'm wondering, from the great esteemed Ivan LaCroix, Esquire, should you use toppers on a coated car?
Yes and no. It depends what you're wanting from that. So the yes is, as a drying aid, definitely you want to use something as a drying aid. Now, you can use rinseless wash as a drying aid and leaves absolutely nothing behind. C6 Mist, next in line. Again, it's going to leave some gloss enhancers, nothing much. Envy and Quick Beads leave long-term protection behind. And speaking of toppers, we have another one. You can also use our show-winning wax, because it's designed to be used on top of a ceramic coating. So again, it's going to change or modify the characteristics of your coating. So let's say you've got hydrate, and hydrate is extremely hydrophobic. If you put our show-winning wax on top of hydrate, it's actually going to reduce the hydrophobics. The hydrate is more hydrophobic than the wax is. And it's more hydrophobic than Envy. It's more hydrophobic than ceramic gloss or C6 Mist. So when you're using something like that on top of hydrate, you're actually going to temporarily diminish the hydrophobics. So it may or may not be something you're looking for. You have to be a very astute student of detailing to see the difference in beading between Envy and Quick Beads and hydrate. But it is there, and when you're going to the wax, there's a big difference. Now, the advantage of using these is as a drying aid. So you're protecting your coating, you're making your coating last longer, et cetera, et cetera. Where people get in the trap, and we see this a lot on YouTube because unfortunately failures are popular on YouTube. So people like to see something fail. And when this happens is you'll have a content creator say, I put this coating on a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, and now it's starting to be blotchy in areas. It's not beading the way it is. If they used a topper, is it the coating that's failing or the topper that's failing? And that's where we get into the topper trap. Because a topper, let's say you put Envy Ceramic Detail Spray on your paint. You did it once, 5 or 6 months ago. Now the Envy is starting to wear away, but it's not all worn away. So now your hydrophobics are shot. And you're thinking, my coating's dead. No, it's the Envy that you put on the coating that is starting to diminish and is starting to break down. So you have 2 choices at this point. You put more Envy on, or you wait longer for it to be completely gone, which can take up to a year. So that's where people get into the topper trap. Another one is, and I'm looking at you when I say this, Nick, but
okay,
you're trying all sorts of different things on your paint. You'll use a topper from one company today. You'll use a topper from another company next week. The week after that, you're trying another one. You're trying another one. You're trying another one. And eventually what's happening is every time you're doing that, you're trapping a few contaminants between the layers. It's not fully contaminated, but you're trapping 1 or 2 here, there, 1 or 2 there. And a few more there, and a few more there. And you're building up this layer of toppers and contaminants and toppers and contaminants till eventually your paint is really contaminated. And we can decontaminate the paint. That's easy. We have lots of videos on decontaminating the paint. And by the way, if you're a subscriber, thank you. If you're not a subscriber, now's the time. Go down and hit that subscribe button, and you'll see all these videos that we put out. We put out 4 videos a week and a short or 2 every day. We're rather prolific here when it comes to educational videos. But once you have all those toppers on, now you're thinking, I have to decontaminate my paint. Great, you're going to decontaminate your paint. That doesn't remove the toppers. That's going to remove some of the contamination that's embedded into your paint, embedded in the layers of the toppers, but it's actually not going to remove the toppers. The toppers have to wear away. And that is, again, that trap that we get into, that we set for ourselves. We set the trap, we go dive right into it and get caught. And that is by putting toppers on your paint.
Ivan, so now I'm like, should I stop putting toppers on my ceramic coated vehicle, or should I stop putting toppers on at all? Like, what do I do?
Right. Continue using toppers. If you like using toppers, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just when the topper starts to fail, know that you have to apply more. And you may want to decontaminate a little more often your paint just to make sure that you're not trapping anything in all those layers of toppers.
One thing that we do really well is simplify what can be so many variables in detailing, Ivan. We often say the detailers overthink things, okay? And now you're encouraging the overthinking, Ivan. Now I'm like, well, how do I know if I have contaminants in between the layers? How do I get rid of those? I don't want contamination building up.
No, and the easy way to do that is decontaminate a little more often. So let's say for you on your Jeep, Nick, you decontaminate every 6 months or so. Well, bring that down to 3 months. And the contaminants won't build up as quickly. Plus, if you wash your vehicle every week, you don't have that big buildup of contamination as much either. So by a good wash schedule and once every 3 months or so, quick decontamination, it's easy to do. It's simple. It's a lot of fun, and you get the results from it. But know that the sealants, the ceramics in the sealants, are on top of your ceramic coating. And what they're doing is encouraging you to use more toppers. Again, not a bad thing, but just know that once you start down the topper train, you're on board and you're continuing to ride that train for a long time.
Yeah, it's hard to get off that train, isn't it? I just thought about that. There are the purists who say, I've ceramic coated my vehicle, I will never use a topper. Is that the path?
Yes and no. So the purist will actually get the long-term benefits of a coating, and that is the hydrophobics, all that fun stuff, the gloss, et cetera, et cetera. By using a topper, you're actually extending that. But you get into that again. If the topper starts breaking down, you have to put more topper on. So a lot of people, they start with toppers. You just had your car ceramic coated. So now you're enthusiastic. You're washing it every week. You're putting a topper on it. And then 2 weeks go by and you haven't washed your car. And then the next time it might be 3 weeks between. And the next time it might be a month. And now it's just another daily driver that occasionally I wash it. That's when you start seeing the miscontent that people can have with a ceramic coating, especially if they put a topper on in the beginning and now they're only washing once a month or even less than that. Now the topper is failing, the contamination is accumulating faster on the surface. They might put another topper on. It's not lasting as long. It's not beating as long. They need to reset. There's a couple ways of resetting. One is just continue washing, but don't use any toppers. And eventually you will actually see the hydrophobics come back. So decontaminate it, wash it, keep washing it. You'll actually see the properties of the coating returning to what they used to be. Once the topper is all gone, then you're back to the coating. The other way of doing that is, once again, decontaminate, then add another topper. There's nothing wrong with that. You're coating underneath that is providing the protection against chemicals, bird droppings, bug etching, et cetera, et cetera. It's still there. It's still doing its job. But for the hydrophobics part of what you're looking for, and maybe the gloss, that's where the topper is doing that work for you.
So the other way, the coating underneath is still, no matter what topper I use, helping me with chemical resistance. Because I was going to ask about that. Like, if I use a topper, am I now at the mercy of the topper's chemical resistance?
No, the coating is still doing what it needs to do. It's still under there. It's providing the foundation. It's that bedrock. It's solid. Then what you're putting on top is sort of the decoration, the gloss, the bling, the the beading, all of that. And if you're putting a wax on, again, you're going to get that beautiful glow that we get from a wax, but it's not going to last long. So that one you have to renew even more often. But once you have that on the surface, if you want to reset back to zero, again, one way is just wash and let it be. The other one is C6 app, the adhesion promoter polish. It's not abrasive enough to remove the coating or damage the coating, but it is abrasive enough to start accelerating. It's not going to remove it completely, but to accelerate the breakdown of, a topper or a wax or something like that.
So you would polish with app on the red pad or red Julian pad on a palm sander or any machine? Would you do it on any machine?
No, the palm sander or a 2 to 9 millimeter stroke machine.
Okay, so
you want to respect the app for what it is.
Right. Do the right machine with app, adhesion promoter polish. And then would you put a topper on after, or is this part of I'm trying to degrade the toppers and get back to my coating kind of thing?
Well, if someone wants to do that, so they want to return to the beading of their original coating, fine, you don't need to put a topper on. For myself, like you and like many of us out there, I continue to use toppers. And we call it the topper trap. The only reason we wanted to make this podcast is we get comments all the time. And we have someone that said, my coating is failing. And, you write into info@diydetail.com. We will reply. If you leave a comment here, we reply. We're here for customer service. And a lot of those replies, on YouTube, it's me. On info@diydetail, it's either Nick or Sam. And we have a few other staff members, but they're the two principal that look after that. So when you're getting that question, and that question is, I put a topper on my paint, now it's not beading anymore, has my coating failed? The answer to that, no, your coating hasn't failed. What's happening is your topper is wearing away, and until it's completely gone away, you need to live with it that way. Or you need to wait for it to be completely gone to unmask the coating below it. So that's why we gave you a couple ways of doing that. Now, for myself and for Nick and for many people out there, I'm going to continue to use toppers when I wash my car as a drying aid more than anything else. And as a drying aid, I find them very important. Plus, they're just fun to use. But as a drying aid, to me, that's an important characteristic of a lot of toppers. You can't use the wax as a drying aid, but quick beads I use a lot. And NV ceramic detail spray I use. When Sylvie's washing the car, she pulls out C6 Mist. That's her favorite of the three. With those, we know we have good quality protection. But we also know that those are going to wear away eventually. We decontaminate probably more often than most people because of the condition that our main vehicle is. And our main vehicle is the one that follows the bus. It follows the bus, 3 feet behind the bus. It's in a tornado of dirt and muck and everything else every time we're going down the road. Nick has washed our car a number of times and knows exactly what's going on with that car. So it needs decontamination a little more often than most. For our other toys or other cars, I just wash them and might put a topper on them. I normally wash with rinseless wash, so there's no need for a drying aid. And when I feel that my topper is starting to wear away, that's when I'll re-up on the topper.
Life is short. I'm going to use toppers. It makes the paint slick under my drying towel. It adds instant gloss boosting. It just makes it fun for me. I like the smell of them. I really enjoy using toppers. But again, like you said, when people are saying, well, this failed, there's a lot of variables between when you coated it and now. And we want to know what those are. And they might involve toppers. They might involve just our toppers, Ivan. A lot of people will just use DIY. But then there's a lot of people who, like many, they play around. They like to play the field, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of great products out there, and you may have something in your shelf that you've had for a while and you want to use that bottle up. That's great. There's no need to switch to our toppers or only use our toppers on our coating or vice versa. No, we know that you're going to play with different products and we know you're going to enjoy them and have fun. That's the whole point of detailing, is to enjoy yourself, to have fun. And if it means you have to put a topper back on because your previous topper is failing, is that such a bad thing? I don't think so.
No, and I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he doesn't detail, and I don't know if he even gets the car through the car wash very often. He's like, why would somebody get DIY detail products? What sets away your products from the rest? And I talked about how excellent they are, but I also talked about how the customer service and the education is so robust that we do 4 videos, long form a week. We're consistently educating people. And if you ask a question, it gets answered. Whereas if I were to send a message to one of these big companies, I did this when I first started out, I didn't get answers, and I didn't know what to do with them, and they seemed cool. And anyways, how would you answer that question, Ivan? Why would somebody, like, seriously, just a stranger on the street, why they see your shirt? Oh, why would I buy that versus a big name in the box store?
A few things, Nick. First of all, quality. The products are quality. Secondly, we have a system. We teach the system. We try to simplify as much as possible. So no, we don't have a wheel cleaner, a lug nut cleaner, and a tire cleaner, or a valve stem cleaner for that matter. We just have an APC. We have our all clean and all-purpose cleaner. Plus, like you said, we provide customer service. Customer service and education are 2 of the foundations of DIY. They're that strong foundation that we've built off of, and that we continue to maintain that foundation with great customer service, thanks to our team. And we respond to your questions and comments, not only here, not only when you write into info@DIY Detail, but we also have a Facebook group with over 60,000 people that are there to ask questions, not just about our products, but any brand of products. We're there to help. And many of the times you'll answer the questions, I'll answer the questions. Plus, we have a legion of people that are on there just happily answering people's questions. There's no such thing as a beginner level question. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And if someone points out that your question is beginner level or stupid, they're probably not going to be on the group much longer.
Detailing is fun, Ivan. And detailing is even more fun when your vehicle is ceramic coated, because it's so much easier to clean over and over again. If folks have heard enough about toppers and they want to actually learn how to do this stuff, there's a video right here. We talk about education. We're going to show you that education step by step. See you there.